I was looking into your background, one thing that was particularly interesting is the fact that you went the reverse route. You went venture capital, and then you started, and you went into becoming a founder, and then you went into becoming a crypto founder, which is even more crazy
Yeah.
because it's not necessarily it's the Wild West. There's so many different ways this technology can be implemented in the real world. So many other variables we don't know in terms of it being actually scalable and handle the amount of volume that Web 2 companies are managing in terms of consumers and users and things like that. What made you go from investing in companies to getting your hands dirty and starting to really build something that is completely new? It's within its own frontier.
Very good question. I also ask myself if this is the right route. I think when I'm in kind of start to do project by myself as operator and as an entrepreneur, I never want to go back. That's a kind of the fact. But just like when I review my career, I'm lucky enough after graduation in Singapore, and I got a chance to get into the investment kind of area. And first, I was a PE, really focused on the growth stage, late stage for Southeast Asia market.
Mm,
And then I got a chance to come to Silicon Valley, which is 10 years back. And I was so fascinated about all the innovation for the early stage projects. So I got a chance to really join the VC firm and as an early investor. And then
yeah.
just got the opportunity start to look at all the frontier tech, just like I mentioned before. And then just I realized as an investor, you have the opportunity to have a broad view. Like you
Hmm.
will be the
Hmm.
earliest one to really see the trend, right? For the big trend, for the biggest kind of innovation which will shape the world. But as a kind of young investor, you don't really have the experience, right? You don't really
Mm,
just really get in the shoes of the founders to understand the single details, what really make a founders to create a great company from scratch. I think that is kind of always is a secret for me. And I'm so like into it and really want to be like the one to understand how we can create and grow a great company from the first day.
uh,
And also just like in another way, if I don't really understand the process, I cannot really be a greatest kind of investor, especially kind of industry, because I don't really have the big picture and have the detail from the strategy to the execution, right? Still, because as an investor, you look at the future opportunity and you just spread your bets into different sectors, right? So
right.
it's a very different mentality, but as an entrepreneur, you're laser focused. You laser focus on kind of one single sector and one niche market and from scratch and grow, scale, and operate. Right. So that's a very different mindset. Right. So
Yeah.
I have to have genuine passion for a particular kind of sector, and I can relate my experience, my vision into this particular sector. So that's why I think I spent over 5, 6 years look for a right kind of sector I can tap into until I find crypto and Web3, which is back
Wow.
in 2017. Yeah.
So much that first of all, I totally respect having to almost like what they say, eat your own dog food, right? You have to be able to understand the experience to even become that much better of an investor. I totally hear what you're saying. Has it changed your investment strategy, the experience?
Definitely. I would say it's really hard, of course, as a founder, right? So when you get into a stage, then you will be able to manage a very kind of a big amount of money. And so that you can have different sectors in a very different sectors. If you really want to be a great investors, you have to focus. You really can need to invest in things you understand, right? And you need to focus on one sector, and this sector you need to have intensive domain knowledge, and you need to have the deep understanding about the vision and where this technology will be driving the society into which direction. So I would say just eventually I
Mm-hmm.
become an investor again. I will be more I will be more comfortable in leading a fund which will be focused on one sector. And this sector, I have the best kind of knowledge and expertise. Yeah. So that right now, just like so I'm also handling our ecosystem fund. Right.
Yeah.
And now I'm much more enjoying my job and I have much more confidence because of my understanding of the industry much deeper than an outsider. And also because of the network, right? So you are
Right.
in this industry and you have the most relevant talent network, founder network. You know who is best for what, right?
Right.
And then just you can always have the brainstorm session. And this starts, I'm really enjoy those kind of brainstorm session and to talk about what's a great idea, really what ideas really make sense and what's the biggest need and demand for.
The Grupo podcast is about technology and working in a remote world. If you like what we're doing, please like, comment, subscribe, and support us interviewing the leaders of today.